All right, everybody, what's happening? Let's talk grades now that we're done with the midterm. If you check this out, how to see grades, this is going to get you at least to where you can see each quiz, you can see the question, see how that went, right? And thanks to the classmate that provided this little summary here. Now, the grade book in Brightspace, I'm done fighting with. So here's what we're going to do instead. If you want to be able to do, like, run the numbers on how you're doing so far, what I did was I made a Google Sheet that will do it for you. If you go back to the introduction and important documents, you got all the stuff we had at the beginning of the year. I've added this grade calculator. So if we go ahead and hit that, what's going to happen is this opens up, excuse me, which is going to allow you to put in your own grades over here on the left. Don't write to the right of these lines. There's formulas in there that would screw it all up. So as discussed at the beginning, we've got discussion grades, the segment quizzes, the midterm, and final. Now the discussion, if you think the grade book's hard to deal with in Brightspace, grading discussions is it's outrageous. So it's already in the syllabus. We already said we did it. So congratulations, you've all earned full points, whether you did that intro post or not. You get full credit for that 10% of the course. So you're starting with a 10, and then we'll start counting up from there. The segment quizzes, as promised in the syllabus, the lowest one gets dropped. So if you say, okay, I got a 100 on number one, I got a 90 on number two, this won't work until you put in at least two quizzes. Otherwise, it has to divide by 0 because it drops that lowest one. So there's 100 and a 90. It gets rid of the 90 and your average is 100. Let's say let's say you missed the third one. There you go. So now the zero's dropped and you get an average of those two as a 95. Okay. Midterm, you just took it last week. Whatever you put in there, let's say you got a 74. Put that in there. And now this blue box should be what I reported as your midterm grade so far. I did that Friday night, and I think they're released in my Oswego now as your like running midterm average. Then as we fight through the rest of the term here, you can put in your quiz grades again as you fight through. This one will look low. I mean, I said it right here. It will look low until all the grades are entered. So if you want to do the kind of thing where it's like, okay, here's what I got. Boy, that one didn't go as well. And then a 80, and then a 79. So there's all of those for that type of segment quiz average, your midterm. And if you want to do the game of like, okay, what am I going to have to get whatever I want in this course? Am I going to have to get a 90 on the final? What if I get an 85 on the final? What if I get an 80 on the final? You can do that right here, right? And then once we do the final, that should work. Now, all these percentages should be right. I'm decent at sheets here, but we'll declare this unofficial. But if you look at this formula, it goes by what we said in the syllabus. So 10% discussions. Congratulations, 10 points. Everybody did it. Then 50% is the quiz average. So that takes this average and counts it for 50%. And then 40% is the midterm and the final. So I broke that down to 20% each for the midterm and the final. Right? So that should be what's on the report card. These percentages have to be off by a little bit because you got to run the numbers without the final in there. So they might not be exact. That's why I said approximate right here. But this should get us going. So again, wherever we're at right now, if we get rid of those, you should have at least those grades. Full credit for that. We've done 3 segment quizzes in a midterm. That in that blue box should be what was reported for your midterm grade. And if something looks wrong, then let me know, and I'll go back and see if my math looks right, and we'll talk. Okay, so hopefully that helps out. Sorry on behalf of Brightspace. Sorry this is so confusing. Hopefully this simplifies everybody's life, and see how it goes. Let me know if you have any issues. We'll talk to you soon.